So, hi
Hello,
guys.
welcome to Truth Run Steep podcast. I'm
I'm
Terryn,
Kalli, and I'm
and we're
Kalli.
here.
I totally forgot we were doing with it.
Well, we're here to talk about all things Law and Order, the original, SVU, organized crime, fanfic writing, and more.
Yay!
What was I gonna say? We think this is a think. Organized crime might be coming in March. It is a loose think, but we will see.
It said spring 2025, so that's like March, April. May.
Because Danielle, when she posted, she said, "See y'all in March." That's what I'm thinking is March, but we cannot confirm or deny it's March. Could be March, which isn't that long from now, but we don't really know. They I don't know. There's some episode titles that came out, but they're not from an official source, so we cannot confirm whether or not any of those are correct. But some of them we do know are correct. Some of them we don't know are correct, but some of them are correct because we've seen from like the cloud report they're correct. But that'll be fun. We'll discuss. We don't know how we're gonna talk about those because probably won't talk about them at the same time we do the other two shows because it won't like the way that like you may do like two at a time. Do like two at a time for each organized crime episodes and do 5 episodes of organized crime. So maybe might do something like that. We don't really know yet because it's 10 episodes. We'll figure it out. Depending how long, like what happens in the episode and how long they take, that kind of thing also kind of varies on like because we don't want you to have like a 4-hour podcast video. Like we'll figure it out. Okay. Anyway.
All right. I got distracted. Anyway, so the first episode of Law and Order is called Greater Good. And it
is kind of based on something true. Okay, they took some pieces from several crew. It is based on something true, but they've kind of pieced together several like incidents of this situation happening and pieced them together. So like, yeah, it is based on something true.
So we start with a club, people at a club, and there's a woman who wants to call an Uber for the girl that she's with. So she puts the girl in the Uber, and then she walks outside, and she heard a noise. She sees a man that, like, we first think it's maybe her pimp, and he's wondering where she's going. And then suddenly we see the guy who is now dead.
Of course, that's always start the relationship. It'd be like, bam, dead.
Wound in his chest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Of course, they go investigate, how things go at the beginning. But they talk to his name is Wes Morgan. And they go talk to his wife. And his wife says that he's excuse me.
He was at a fundraiser.
Yeah.
And she was home with their 2 daughters. Which the audience knows that no, he was not at a fundraiser. Because I don't know about you, but I've never heard of any fundraisers that happen at a club.
I'm gonna go get my smoothie real quick. Keep talking.
They then find out that he was having an argument with a rapper, and they go to talk to the rapper, and the rapper's like, "Oh, we were gonna go talk in the morning to figure it out," and then the cops are like, "Well, he's dead, so that's not happening." And they then go to talk to the woman who was at the scene, and we find out that she's not just like his side chick or whatever. She's an undercover cop. So her undercover name is Vanessa Washington, but her actual name is Vanessa Washburn. And we find out that she is investigating Morgan for possible trafficking charges.
Yeah. So you kind of see where this is going here. I don't know if you get what's happening here. Maybe.
You probably get it. Um, Riley and her started arguing, and then all of a sudden, Riley looks at Shaw and he's like, "Is it me?" And it's pretty much like, "You're white. She's not going to talk to you."
Yeah.
Then we have a mention of Diddy and Epstein. So then, yes,
So
we
you know where this is going. Make it clear where this is going.
Then we see they look at the parking lot where the murder happened, and they see a guy on the camera in the parking lot who was there for 2 hours, and he's wearing a Saint Gabriel's hoodie.
Which is a school. I don't know if that was clear. Well, it's clear. It's a school. Riley recognizes this as a school.
And they're like, "How do you know?" It's like Catholic school always knows. Catholic school recognizes Catholic school.
I only have like three drinks over here. I got water, I got a liquid IV, and I got this smoothie, y'all. We're gonna be extra hydrated.
Woo.
So they see this, and they find out this girl is hanging around with Wes. She graduated college last night, which isn't that long ago. I mean, she is 18. Well, she is 18. They make this like she's 18. But I don't know, but typically you're 18 when you graduate high school. 17 or 18. Unless you like skipped a year or something like that, you're typically 17 or 18. I lost my spot. They talked to her boyfriend, and her boyfriend said they broken up.
Just broke up with her because she had been using drugs and was passed out at his home during a frat party during the murder. So we know that it wasn't her that did it.
Yeah, so of course, it's never the first person on this show.
Yeah, and we find that this girl's like living in a super ass nice apartment because Morgan bought it for her.
Yeah,
and unfortunately,
very strange for an 18 adult.
Their relationship is strange because she started as just like a musician, and now she's got a freaking nice
to make
New York and whatnot.
Yeah,
because
yes.
They then
so then they go to
her parents' house, her dad's house, and he has the jacket.
Yeah.
So they arrest him. And Brady was like, "Look, I gotta be honest with you. If some punk was trafficking my kid, I would have put a bullet in his head and wouldn't have thought twice about it either."
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, they sympathize with this guy.
They're like, but there's the law here. You can't just be going. Well, this is not random, but it kind of is not necessarily related to anything. But at least the whole like my job's no longer at risk for right now because the freeze is over. You took it back. The freeze is over. You taking it back for now. Nobody liked it. So we're no longer at risk for not having a job anymore for right now. Anyway.
So then they go to talk to Vanessa again, and she's like, "I don't solve cases." And they're like, "What do you mean? You're a detective." She's like, "I don't solve cases. I look out for my people." And Jalen says race isn't relevant here. And she goes, "Race is always relevant."
Because it's true. No matter what situation you is, no matter how you
Riley goes, "Here we go." And it's like, "Excuse me? You're gonna get into a fight with her again."
Exactly. So we'll get into a fight with this one.
We start trial. Not trial, arraignment. And we said Sam looked nice in blue. The wife, Morgan's wife, then goes to talk to Baxter and basically doesn't want a trial.
Yeah.
And Baxter's like, "But don't you want to put the man who did this to your husband away?" And she's like, no. She basically doesn't want his name dragged through the mud. She doesn't want
whatever has been happening exposed,
Yeah. She wants
Well,
to keep his legacy intact, and then she also makes like a quick note of, uh, he helped you get elected, so
yeah,
keep your priorities straight. It's like, ooh.
well,
And we
like,
start with the next day, and Nolan got everybody coffee, and
yeah,
they're all
they're all walking,
walking down the street,
walking to the.
and Sam had done all her research, and apparently it is much worse than expected because 5 women have now claimed that Morgan essayed them as well and drugged them.
Yep.
So now Baxter's like, you know what? We have to do it. We have to let the world know who he truly was. And then Sam was like, hell, if Morgan was as bad as they say he was, Ross should get a medal. The dad should get a medal.
Yep. So then they kind of like are in this spot where they're like, so can we, well, how do we like go about like this case with this girl's father? Because he's, and then Baxter's like, well, if we like don't do anything, it's like we're basically saying killing a monster isn't as bad as killing an angel. And we're like, well,
Yeah. So they're basically like, if we do this, Nolan's like, if we do this, basically like supporting the defense. And he's like, no, we're just gonna show that you still can't kill anybody.
you just can't go kill anybody. So then the boyfriend testifies and he says that he went through Angela's phone and there were pictures of her unconscious, which is, that's real bad.
Bad,
Um,
bad, bad.
and then like the father had said he was gonna kill him. Um, and like he explained,
Um,
basically like he said that like he's gonna make this girl a star in exchange for
things.
their relationship, which they shouldn't have, like when she was 18. That was
And he
crazy, but
basically paid for her condo, and he unfortunately also made her have uh relations with his friend, and he watched and recorded.
yeah. So that is
Mm.
trafficking. It falls under trafficking. So then the girl testifies. I can't remember her name because I think it's Angela, but I can't remember. I think it is Angela. But she says that like it was predatory. I was dependent on him because all she wanted to do was be a music star, and he abused her. So then her father testifies, and like he says that he confronted he was says that Angela was his property, he could do whatever he wanted to her. He said he's gonna, and so then he says that Wes was gonna hit him with a champagne bottle, so he shot him. But this is a very
Yeah, and
important
everyone's like,
piece of
wait a
the
minute,
puzzle here.
wait a minute. Now they're saying it's self-defense. Um,
There's a champagne bottle. We
they
gotta find
didn't
it because
know
there's no
that
proof of
there was
this.
like, yeah, that's like now they need proof there was a champagne bottle. They don't know a champagne bottle was a champagne bottle there. Um, so they go to recess, and Nolan is pretty much rambling, and Brady's like, "Okay, you need more. Thank you, got it."
Yeah, because they're like, he's like, where's this champagne bottle? Like, where's this champagne bottle? If there is one, where is it? Because it
And
wasn't at the crime scene.
so they go to talk to Jalen goes to talk to Vanessa again, and she's like, "Yeah, there wasn't a champagne bottle."
Yeah, there was one. So that's not
But
looking good.
she's also not testifying. And then Jalen's like, "What?" And she's like, "I'm not doing this. I'm not putting your brother in jail. Like, he got rid of a horrible dude."
A horrible person, and the legal system is not good upon black men. So that also was a factor in
And then
that.
Jalen is like, "No, I need to prevent a sister from making a mistake, a terrible mistake." She was like,
Mhm.
he's like, "We get paid to investigate crimes, not change the world." Then he goes back to Riley, and he's like, they're talking about like her view on the crime world, and his view. And Riley's like, we're old. Or no, Jalen's like, we're old. You got gray hair. I've got no hair. Just live with it. So,
Yeah, 'cause they're talking about how like police work has to adapt and change. Like they can't be doing police work how they used to do police work when they were young.
they do end up getting her to testify.
Yeah,
but
I thought she was gonna get subpoenaed, but she does it willingly. But yeah,
she basically says yes, there was a champagne bottle. And then so there's a scene between Nolan and Shaw, and Nolan was like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Hey." Jalen's like, "Hey, I told you she didn't want to get involved."
mm-hmm.
And it was like, "Okay, then you need to testify." It's like, you're putting me in a tough place here. You're asking me to call another cop a liar. And Nolan's like, "I'm asking you to tell the truth." Sounds pretty easy for me. To me. And this is again when like Nolan's like, "Dude, your whiteness is showing."
Yeah, we're like, it's not that easy.
It's not that easy. You're not fully understanding it. Jalen testifies and basically says, well, she said there was a bottle because she didn't want a good black man going down. She thought it'd be better for the community, the black community, to not put Ross in prison. Well, unfortunately, he's still found guilty.
Yep.
And then Vanessa's pissed because she's like, you pretty much just blew up my entire career. You said you wanted to make a difference. So what happened?
Yeah, because they kind of have this conversation about how like when like black people choose to join the police force, are you going to be on the side of cops or going to be on the side of your people? Because you know, cops and black people don't seem to. They don't.
And
Well, they don't typically.
This isn't the first time Wolf Entertainment has done this. They've done it with Garland. They've done it with Shaw. They've done it with
Yes.
Atwater on the Chicago series. They've done it with Ayana on organized crime. It's a thing. It's a common thing because unfortunately this is the world that we live in.
Yeah.
Oh, and Finn, of course.
Yeah, of course, Finn. You know,
And
it's like
Curry has been on the
she's
side
kind of
of.
talked about. I'd be just because of the cops and like that can be, you know, it's difficult to balance both when you want like because he wants to become a police officer to like improve the police force, but you know, as we said, like the blue wall stands firm. Like
Yeah.
it's not beneficial for you to. It's not necessarily beneficial to people of color to
And here's
choose
the
their
thing.
people over.
Morality reasons, did the dad do the right thing? Kind of, because he killed the guy who was assaulting his daughter. But unfortunately, there's no law for that.
Yeah, you can't just go kill people. You can't do that.
You can't.
You have laws against you going to go do that.
I give this one a 3.
Yeah, it was alright.
It was nice to have the like ER reunion because the dad who played the dad and Maura Tierney were in ER together. So
yes,
and I think the director.
Yeah, Eric LaSalle was also on ER. He was the director.
So. All right.
I remember talking about ER the other day and how we like boohoo cried about a certain part, which I won't tell you what it is because at least you want to watch the show. But boohoo cried on our sofa during the pandemic. All right. Anyway,
I'll be back. Terryn will keep going.
So it's called the next one is called. I think I have the numbers wrong, but my bad. I think it's supposed to be 10. Oh well, I don't want you to do that. Open the link, please. It's called The Hardest Thing. The hardest thing. It says when a wealthy man executed in his home, Sean Riley aimed to determine who was greedy enough to want him dead. Price must try a difficult case amidst his father's failing health. So, like, we do get to see Nolan's brother, whose name is Thomas, I believe. Thomas. So now, so like we don't know anything really about Thomas, but like we do get to like meet him, and like from what we've seen of some pictures, he gets a little friendly with Sam, which is kind of something. But you know,
no. If you guys
but
know, if you guys aren't aware, we ship Nolan and Sam. So
yeah,
stay fuck
it feels
away.
it feels a little awkward here. But like, what was I saying? So we feel like we. I don't know if we're just good at like detecting people because like we don't. Did put your shirt on backwards, but it's
I
okay.
did. I just realized that. I'll be back.
But you know, but what was I saying? Oh, we like I'm really good at like headcanon people, like their personalities based on like one picture. So like we feel like he's the less serious, like kind of the silly one, a little flirtatious,
Do we know
That's what
who's
it kind
older?
of. I think Nolan is.
Okay,
I'm
that would
pretty certain.
explain it. And he would be like the
I
more
feel like
serious.
Nolan is. I don't remember what they said, but I'm pretty certain it's Nolan, just because Thomas looks younger than Nolan, but I think Nolan's probably younger. I mean, Nolan's probably older.
Feeling it's gonna be similar to what they did with Riley and his brother, except unlike Riley's brother,
He's not
Thomas
committing
is
a crime.
not gonna be in trouble with the law.
Not committing. Yeah,
Just
not
that
committing.
kind of attitude.
What's with everybody's brother committing some crimes, like, or being accused of a crime? Like, bro, he started this with like he had like Muncie or her brother. Well, Teddy didn't go. Teddy actually didn't do anything. But you're like Teddy, Joe Jr., which is the same actor, which is we've talked about before, which is real weird. But
It's
okay, but
Riley,
Riley's brother,
hopefully,
Olivia's brother,
Amanda's sister.
Olivia's brother,
yeah, so
Ben's
everybody's like
family,
families are either crime filled or broken. Or both.
Pretty much. Both.
It's not until the second generation when everybody gets better.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll see what happens tomorrow because it's Wednesday. Yeah, we're now scheduled again.
All right, so now we're on SVU 2016, which is called Master Key.
I like this one. Real premise. I actually at first I was confused, but then I ended up like growing to like this one. I was growing to like this one.
This one is a lot.
It's a lot. It's loaded, but it's just like, oh, I think I kind of like this episode now. I was kind of confused at first, but it comes along to you. But anyway, so we start off at a foster care facility, and there's like the foster mom is like, she's like kind of like telling the kids like, hey, you need to like get ready for bed, like, we need to clean up and get ready for bed, kind of things. What's kind of happening, and then she's gonna go check all the rooms to make sure all the kids are in their room, and she goes and she sees a kid, I forgot what his name is, but he's there. But then she's like, where's Anthony? And Anthony is his roommate. And Anthony had left his phone in his room. So, for a teenage boy to leave his phone in his room, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So, she calls SVU. I think she calls the police and somehow the way ends up with SVU. But well, we found out that like Anthony's on an ankle monitor, and for a teenager to be on an ankle monitor, you're like, But then his roommate says, his roommate says he saw Anthony hugging an older man. In some kind of way, the ankle monitor is off, and he's gone.
Yep. So
we find out that Anthony's parents, the intro.
Yeah, the intro. We go back in. Olivia's like, Olivia walks in the precinct in the morning. They're like, okay, what do we got? And we find out that from Silva that unfortunately this kid's got tragic past. One of his parents died in a car accident, and one of his parents overdosed.
Yeah, it's not good for him. Hogwarts Legacy's adding modding, so you can mod the game. But anyway, whatever. So Anthony's been missing for 12 hours. So And they go
um
talk. So then they go talk to his like parole officer, and then his
slash
like child
advocate,
welfare advocate.
and he's like,
And this guy kind of just
yeah,
like talks about how like he's been looking after Anthony and like
and the reason why he was
I don't know where you were going, so I can't
the
finish your
reason why
sentence.
he had the ankle monitor is because he got in a fight at school.
Yeah, it seems a
Um,
little intense for a fight at school, but whatever.
we then get Carisi checking in, and he seems a little better.
Yeah,
Not perfect, but a little better.
we're getting there. Hopefully, we handle this responsibly. But for right now,
Yeah, because
he's okay.
there were some people who are like, "Oh my God, is this PTSD magically healed?" No,
We're like, no. It's very clear it's not because he's very cold and dry most of the episode. But like,
yeah,
we'll talk to about that later when we get some more of like, because there's a lot of like Olivia and Carisi in this episode, and like we'll talk about like that when we get there. But so then they find this man named Colin Clark. He's 57. He was the man that was found in the last scene with Anthony. And Colin is the locksmith for the motel which they go to because they go to his job to be like, have you seen this man? Um, so they go in
so they go into
and
the different hotel rooms because since he's the locksmith, he has all the
he
keys
can be in
there.
any, yeah,
He
he
has
can be in any of them. So.
he has the master key.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the episode.
I think Olivia says that later, but we so then they go to the door and they don't hear anything. I don't think actually they hear crying. They're in the opposite room, a room like on the next wall over, and they hear like crying. So they're like, he must be in the room next to them. So then they go out and they go back around, and Olivia goes in and she sees Anthony's. He's They don't see Anthony first. Oh wait, I had it wrong. They go into the first room and they see Colin Clark is dead. He's been shot a lot. So then they hear the crying, and then they go to the next room and they see Anthony. And Anthony has the gun in his hand, and he's crying, and there's blood
And
on
he's
him, and he's kind of
shaking. It's oof.
yeah, he's just in his like underclothes, like a t-shirt and like his shorts. Um, so they're like, Olivia's like, it's okay, just hand me the gun. She takes the gun from him, and then like Anthony's arrested, but she's like, be gentle with him, like don't be roughing him up. So then they go to the hospital. Um, and then Carisi, and then the defense, I guess, gonna be his defense attorney, is at the hospital with him. And they kind of have this conversation about, like you need to tell us what happened. Like we can't like help you if you don't tell us what happened. Um, I forgot how we get to this line, but he says like Anthony says like rights. That's just a fancy way of saying I'm screwed. Oh, I think he
Mm-hmm.
said something like you have the right, you do have the right to remain silent, but like you probably should tell us what happened. Um, and then Anthony says that he was kidnapped by Colin, and but then he was already planning on running away. Um, and then Colin took off the ankle monitor. Uh, so then they go to Bruno and Silva. They go investigate the crime scene again because
Keep going. I'll be
and
back.
Silva notices that like there's way more blood on the floor than there is on the bed, which means he wasn't shot on the bed. He was shot on the floor. So that it's already not adding up initially from the start. So then and they go back to like Anthony, and Anthony admits that like and no Anthony says a lot of different things. So this time Anthony says that he did shoot him when he was in the bed, but then that doesn't add up with the evidence. Obviously, that doesn't add up with the evidence because there's more blood on the floor. Um, so then Olivia and Carisi are talking, and Olivia thinks Anthony should not be put in juvie. Because no, at least until like he should not be put in juvie right now. Until they figure out what happened, because they don't know what happened, and like they're kind of, from all they know, he's confessed, even though like he's put in juvie because he's confessed. But like, but Carisi's like, um, but like he did kill somebody. So then you're gonna have this like conversation about like, you know, we don't really know what happened to Anthony in the situation.
Yeah.
And like
Sorry,
Colin
I'm
was
like,
on his knees.
my phone is going crazy.
Um Colin was on his knees with his arms up from what the like ballistics people, I think that's what the ballistics people have said or something like that. And that's what the ballistics people say. The coroner says the coroner girl is kind of cool though. She's kind of like, she's young. She's kind of like got like a shaved haircut. She's got tattoos. She's a real cool person. But anyway, this is the one where Olivia says he has the master key.
Mm-hmm.
So then they go through Anthony's phone and they like see some text messages and they think that Anthony was ruined by Colin. But Anthony says he did willingly go. Anthony's story has changed again. He says he did willingly go with him so they could run away to California together. But but Colin is a married man. His wife does not know about that he was talking to a child. I don't know if that part came up or not, but did we write that down yet? But Anthony keeps changing his story. And Carissa's a little bit pretty mean to him about this though. He's like, you gotta tell us what happened. You can't be keep changing. He's like, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
And Anthony's like, just leave me alone. Like, because they're talking to him in the duty. They talk to him several times in the duty, but he's like, just leave me alone. You know, I'll be fine. So then I don't know why I started coughing or something, but they do think Olivia thinks that they think Anthony's covering for somebody because his story keeps changing, and they're kind of talking. But then they're getting coffee, and but Chrissy's like, there's nothing we can do for him if he doesn't tell us what happened. Like,
Yeah.
what actually happened? We can't get him out of jail if he doesn't tell us what happened. And Anthony's only like visitor is the foster care director. So then she tells them that Anthony was abused sexually by, he's in another home before he came to this place.
And was
But one of
abused
the older
sexually
sons, yeah,
by
by one of the older sons. Um, so then his social worker, his name is Michael Strickland, got him to said like you should pick a fight. So then for some reason this plan doesn't even make sense. But he tells him he needs to pick a fight with somebody so that he can get removed from that situation, I think. But then they go talk to Michael, and he's a little too close with the kids he works with, which is weird. He gets some weird energy. Like he's always like taking these kids out for the arcade or to like pizza or like whatever. But like social workers don't really do that. So it's a little suspicious that like he's so nice to these kids. And then like Michael was like, I'll get a lawyer. And you're like, fine. You know, if you're only guilty people need a lawyer, but you know. Yeah. So then so Anthony's, I mean not Anthony, Michael eventually says he was at the hotel and Anthony killed Colin because he saw them in bed together and they were so for the gun, so Anthony picked it up and shot him. But that's not the truth either. Anthony this is like for real, like leave me alone. He doesn't want them to help him still. But Anthony does say he did call Michael because he was scared and he didn't want to run away, but Michael had groomed him also. Yeah, so you know it's going deeper and deeper and more disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Because Olivia like talks to him as like he's like I don't have anybody. Olivia's like you got me, and like I can help
He's
you have a
yeah,
chance.
Libby is always like that.
So like I got you. If no one else has got you, I got you. Because then Carissa's like, is this some sort of like sick triangle? Because like what is happening?
Yeah, it's like they're trying to figure out why, like what this kid is.
Yeah, why is he covering up for all these things? So then they like are thinking Anthony is they say he's turning tricks, but if you don't know what that means, is I think it's kind of like a slang word for prostitution, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain it's like prostitution. But he's also a minor, so you can't do that. But anyway, So then they like are digging into Michael, and they find out something real disturbing. Michael was using his phone number and pictures he worked with the traffic children. And so like they like tracked his phone number and like stuff, and they like connected it. The crime people connected it back, and they found out that Michael was posting these children on Craigslist, which is disturbing.
Ew.
He's like people who want to do this kind of behavior to children knew what they were up there for. He used a
Bad.
younger picture of Anthony, so then like it was harder for them to be like, that is Anthony. And
But
all
they're
the
like,
children that he, but that's him. They're like, and all the children are the children he worked with, boys, girls. He didn't care. And Michael was using his job to do this because they like. I never I haven't said that. I suppose. Anyway, which I read. So then they go tell Anthony. He says there's more, and they tell Anthony like there's more children in your group home, but I guess he was in a boys' home, but like there's more boys at your group home that have also this has happened to them because they've like connected the phone numbers of like Anthony only had like a few people on his phone, and they're like the same kind of numbers that like Michael had in his phone because like he kind of like would set up the situations when people were really busy so that like it wouldn't be like noticed, but like of course crime lab figured that out easily. So then Anthony says he met Colin, and Colin had to. I mean, sorry. He says Colin told him to do something to get the ankle monitor so he wouldn't get trafficked. That's why he has the ankle monitor, because the ankle monitor, because obviously no one was going to want to go do that with somebody who's an ankle monitor because the police will come behind you real quick.
yeah, so he basically got in the fight to get the ankle monitor to get the guy away from him.
Yes, because Colin, even though he was a really gross, disgusting person, he did not want this to happen to this child. Sort of. I don't know. It's not good either way. But so then Michael, I guess he's gonna tell. I don't really. Michael like told him to go shoot him, but Anthony wouldn't do it. So like Michael put his hand on his. So like when they have the gun, and like made him pull the trigger. So then Michael puts the body on the bed and told him that Anthony to say that Colin had assaulted him, which didn't happen either. So then he says, "Oh, you were trying to protect him." So then they like, oh, that's why they were trying to say that. I forgot who says that line. Oh, so you're trying to protect him. Do you remember? I don't remember.
Bruno?
Oh yeah. Because they're talking to Michael, and Bruno is like nailing into him about like, so you set up these children trying to say you're gonna protect them, and you were doing this. I believe you're here. So then they like show him a picture, like we found all this money in your house. They had like a big like backpack full of like wads and wads of cash. So it's real disturbing how much money he has in that bag.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
And then yeah. So then Olivia goes to talk to Anthony, and she's like, I really will like hope you can take care. Like I like because he gets out of he's back in his foster care facility. Because he's 16, so he's gonna age out in 2 years. He's also really sad.
Why
So
did I
hopefully
think
he
he
gets
was
plenty.
18?
He's 16.
Okay.
They say something about it earlier that he's 16. But he's gonna age out in 2 years in the foster care system. So there's also like
yeah. Unfortunately,
like,
once you're 18, it's basically done.
you're on your own.
Yeah.
But Olivia talks to Anthony. She's like, I hope like you can take care of yourself and really like heal from the situation. And like she says that like Anthony's been failed by the system his entire life. I'm not gonna let that happen again. So hopefully she's looking out for Anthony and hopefully making sure he gets on the right path so he can have a good life, because his whole life has been terrible until right now. And that's like the end.
So yeah, good episode.
Yeah. It's very disturbing.
Agreed.
It is very much true how messed up the foster care system is in the United States. How much like abuse goes on. How much like abuse goes on in the foster care system.
Unfortunately,
and how like even like in like facilities abuse happens, but a lot of abuse also happens with like people who weren't properly screened to be foster care parents, because some states aren't as tight
also,
on
literally, the fact that this guy who did this was a child care CPS advocate, and he was freaking doing this.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
Yes, and like, some people aren't properly screened for this kind of like work, or like foster parents. So the system is messed up real bad, real bad, and hopefully things will be better for people for children in foster care.
Mm-hmm.
Like a smoothie on my shirt. Anyway, so that's that episode. I give it a 4.5.
I do too.
I like this. Well, I don't. The content wise is real disturbing, but like,
Yeah,
it
like
did shed
once
light
we
on my
got to like
topic that
the nitty gritty, and it was like, oh my god, this guy is sick.
yeah, telling the story isn't particularly like one that you don't really. It's a story that needed to be told.
Agreed.
So the next one is deductible. It says a young boy seeks help when his sister doesn't come home from work. Fritz and Carisi suspect a woman's assault was prearranged by a third party. Because it's like this woman, like her boss is like really excited about, I guess it's stocks. I don't really know for real.
Oh yeah, literally, it's stock market thing.
But he's like real excited about it, like happening, and then he like picks her up and hugs her, which is awkward.
Woo.
And then like he like picks her up and like I guess he's excited about the stocks being good or something. I don't know. And then like they're in his office together. He's like holding her shoulders, and it's real weird. But like then like she's in the hospital. They're talking to Carisi, and then like this woman at the hospital. I guess somebody sent her some flowers, and that's weird. She throws them on the floor, and then like that's the end of the trailer. So like I don't. So we will see what happens in deductible tomorrow. This one I can't really. The pictures aren't out yet. I don't think. Let me refresh the page one more time while we're talking. But I don't.
Wait, we got the yeah, we didn't get this week's episode, but we got some pictures.
We did, yes. For later for 16, I think. Episode 16. We did get. Yeah, it's no pictures for tomorrow yet, but we did. There's some pictures from Olivia's going to go see her mother's grave in 16. I forgot what it was called. I think I wrote it down. The title of the episode.
And apparently it's been 25 years since she died.
Let me bring pardon.
Freaking insane.
Well, it's called Let Me Bring Pardon, which I don't really understand what that means yet. But it's in episode 16. And because her mom died in 2000. So it's been 25 years, and that's crazy that like she's taking her mom some flowers, which is very like excuse me. That's what the scene is. She's putting some flowers on her mom's grave. She's wiping off the snow, and she puts some flowers on because it's a little bit of snow on the ground still. So she wipes the snow off. So I do wonder what. I mean, it's been 25 years, yes, but I do wonder what prompted her to go do it.
I know. Like, what happened? What case? What's happening?
Made her go is what's happening. That she felt like she had to go do it. Because it's not like it's not her mom's birthday either, and it's not like the day she died either. It's just kind of like because it says like she was born on February 3rd and died in like December 10th or something like that. So it's not like it's either one of those days. So we don't.
Olivia,
so we don't know exactly.
I mean, I'm not always the best of it, but I guess Olivia was a late birthday person.
But like, so we don't really know. I guess technically she never really like felt it out for real. Because like in the episode it happens, Craig kind of like pulls their wrenches off. It's like, hey, you found out your mom fell in the subway and died, and he's like,
oh yeah, literally,
you wanted some time off, and she's like, no. And then it's like at the end of the episode they show her at the graveyard, and then that's like it. And you're like, oh, literally. So yeah, that'll be interesting. We don't know what it's going to be about yet, but we are very excited about episodes coming up because I don't think So yeah,
We
we're very
still
excited
don't
about
know if like the news we have is true or not. We're
True.
hoping, but
Yeah, we have a friend who investigates
fingers
things like this
crossed.
for us,
They're
but they have not told
investigating.
us. They have not figured it out yet. So we cannot. So even if they had told us, we couldn't tell you yet because we're not allowed to. Like that's a discretionary policy. That like if we find out something, we can't tell y'all until it's already public knowledge.
Yeah,
So we do know things that. So we're kind of excited about. If that's true, it'll be very exciting.
like
So we will see.
OMG,
It's big.
needs
If
to be
it's
a
true,
true.
it's very big. It's very big if it's true, but we cannot tell you because we don't know if it's true. We don't want to
Yeah.
set ourselves up for sadness
Once we
and
get
disappointment.
confirmation, like official confirmation, we'll tell you.
Yeah, because if it's true, we should find out probably by the end of next month. Not next month, sorry. Probably March-ish. Because from like filming time to like show night, it's typically it's roughly about a month in between. Kind of just depends on how like what order, like how they're filming things and like
Mm-hmm.
what parts of it, what they're filming and such. So yeah.
All right, I think
So
that's it. Sorry, guys, I'm distracted. I'm getting
that's it.
Dunkin' Donuts.
So what do we else talk about for real?
I don't think we have much else.
Friday. Friday is Ryan's birthday.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
That's about it. Is he
that's
finally turning?
he's
How old is he
14.
turning?
I don't remember. I can't actually remember. I think we'll find out. We'll say it when we find out. But you'll know
I
by
was like,
next.
is
Well,
he
correct.
turning? I was like, it's either 13 or 16, and I
He's not
don't.
16 for certain. It's either 14 or 15. I can't remember because he is older than the age that Noah
He's
is,
all
and Noah
grown
is 12.
up. He's getting all grown up.
Yes, because like Ryan's been playing Noah since he was like 5. When he was like, well, Noah was like canon age 5, so I think he was also around 5. So
Yeah, it's true. Because like, oh my god, I remember cute little baby Ryan.
he is. Because started in season 19, and we're at 25. So
I don't know what made me think of it, but it was when he's like, penguins in New York, you're silly. It's
he
so
is.
fucking cute.
He is. It's reindeer in New York. Two penguins.
I thought it was penguins.
No, it's reindeer
No, it was reindeer. No, I'm thinking of something else.
because it's in Gone Baby Gone at the end where they're at the end and they're talking about I know it was not reindeer, it's just deer, but he's like
Deer in New
we saw
York, you're
he says
silly.
like exactly. Exactly. It's that's jaywalking. It's a very that last scene in Got Baby Gone is one of my favorites. But because
And
it's so
Jesse is
sweet how
like
they are.
so little.
He is. They're so teeny tiny, but now they're not teeny tiny anymore.
They're all the older siblings. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I mean Jesse is.
Oh,
Sorry, in our universe,
yeah,
Noah
sorry.
is.
I know yeah, sorry. We forget sometimes I be blurring the lines of what I actually wrote and what's actually true. Sometimes I feel like, was that true? Did I make that up?
Yeah, it's like
The
we'll
lines
be
get a little
talking about
blurry when you
things
get
this
this
way,
dedicated to fan fiction, alright?
that's just our fic.
Like that's not real.
It should be.
It should be because we wrote some good stuff. You know, I feel really bad because everybody wants us to update a certain fic that we haven't done yet. I feel really bad. You know, because we wrote it's
We've
I
been
need your
on
help.
we've been on the fluff train.
Sorry. Sorry. We will update I need
Everyone's
your help
changed and
eventually.
we've
I'm
been doing
sorry.
fluff.
Yeah. I need you because I need your help was one of my favorite ones that we've written. And like we wrote a lot of the chapter. It's just like filling it in because like when you write a trial, it takes a lot more effort sometimes because you have to be able to write prosecution and be able to write defense because it's not like because you got to like put the whole put the story together. So you get to be able to write. So we have to like pre-plan in our heads. All right, what is the defense going to argue in this
Yeah, well,
case?
I mean, if we ever need to, we can say we went to Law and Order Law School.
Pretty much we did. And, I have to learn how to be a good lawyer. Actually, in this case, it's a bit more. Actually, in this place, the harder situation is the prosecution. All right, it's harder to write the prosecution for this case
It
because
really is because it's not the
Because we have Barbara being the defense attorney, because that's easy. It's light work right there, you know.
That's easy. We know how to write Barbara like the back of our hands.
Yeah, but we have to make up a character to be the prosecutor, and then have like the situation like with her, and then like writing like, you know, this is because if you ever read the fic, you should know what happened. But like being like, all right, how can we twist this story to make it believable and it's true? It makes it very like, how good I gotta get good at, like, how good I gotta get at that. And like the lawyer we wrote, we also like writing a whole nother, adding a character to a universe, and then like making their personality, and like it works. It takes a lot of work sometimes, but like sometimes I get that trial itch and want to go write that story, because like writing trials are fun, but also they're like exhausting, because it takes a lot of work to like pre-plan and like write it out and do it. But we will get that done at some point soon. I won't say how soon, but soon, because it's our responsibility. Because this
I
is
don't
fun
want
fic.
responsibility.
It is our responsibility that we have left it undone for like 3 months. 2 months. We just left it like months. All right, we gotta go back. Yep. So that'll be fun, I guess. We've got things to write and things to do and all kinds of stuff. I don't know why. I guess I haven't opened my laptop in a while, but like all the text messages that we've sent between each other just randomly have popped up. I'm like, bro, I've looked at these segments. These are like open segments from like 4 days ago. What are these guys?
My gift cards are driving me crazy.
Well, oh man.
And I need to like leave before there's too much traffic, but I can't freaking.
That's sure. The school traffic is horrible.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm trying to leave before that, but I can't even get the stupid code to scrape off.
Are you using the? Make sure you actually use a penny, okay? Because if you don't, it doesn't work.
I'm using tweezers.
Don't actually do that, because I messed mine up when I did.
Well, I mean, I
Then I had
can't
to talk.
scan it. I have to type it in.
I know, but I messed my Nintendo gift card. I think I told you that. I messed up my Nintendo gift card because I used something that wasn't a penny, and I messed it up. And then I couldn't see the numbers. Then I had to contact Nintendo and have proof that I purchased this gift card, and then they let me have the money. But anyway, I don't know what else to talk about. I think we're gonna stop the podcast because we're just kind of rambling about nothing. So
Yeah,
you all,
that's
so I can put this
pretty much
episode up
it,
Friday.
guys. Thanks.
So I can put this episode up before the day ends, because it is Wednesday and podcast day is Wednesday. So yeah, and we will be back next week. We will be writing in between.
Yes,
I don't know what to talk about. It is a wonderful time in our lives. Actually, it's not American.
No, it's really
I'm
not. I was
scared.
like, what are you
Actually,
talking?
I lied. No, I'm not. I think I was being no, that was a lie. Actually, things are kind of terrible at the moment. But
At
yeah,
least we have each other.
yeah, we got our favorite show and each other in fan fiction. You know,
And the Chicago crossovers tonight,
yeah. I have to go to church, so I won't. I'll only see the last part because I have to go to church.
which will
But
be fun.
yeah, it's a big one apparently. But hopefully I'll be back by 8:15, 8:30. We'll see. I need to read for church also, so I'm gonna go do that. That's it for real. We're gonna stop talking, and so I can upload
Bye,
this.
guys. Thanks.
Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and do all the things. Share with your friends. You know, share with anybody. Say, hey, there's this on our podcast. I like it, because it would be great if you could do that. Because we still make $0. Not trying to be a grifter or anything, but still, I do this for fun. We do this because we like to do it. All right.
Yeah,
That's
so we
all
would
we
love
got.
to get paid for it.
Yeah, so we can, have some extra money, have a fun daytime. Actually, I like my job, but having another job that I like that actually pays me money.
Yeah, please and thank you.
Yeah. So we'll be back doing things, getting things done. All right, goodbye for almost.
All right, bye, guys.
Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you all next week. If I can stop the recording.
literally, because I need to leave.
Okay. Stop.